Hey everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander Score Studio. Welcome to the show. Okay, so spoiler season, day 2 rages on, and something has happened that I think we all were hoping for and didn't necessarily expect, but here we go. Tempest Hawk is here, and that means that a brand new deck around Tempest Hawk is going to be made, and usually this doesn't happen when it comes to a specific card unless it's a commander, unless it is a card that has very specific text on it, and this has the specific text that Wizards these days is like, yeah, this common is going to be probably about $3, probably more, because that's just what happens with these commons. Let's jump into it. A 2/2 bird with flying, they cost 3 mana in white, and if that was it, no one would care. But here we go. Whenever this creature deals common damage to a player, you may search your library for a card named Tempest Hawk, reveal it, put in your hand, then shuffle. And also, most importantly, a deck can have any number of cards named Tempest Hawk. Now, we've seen this card in the past, basically. We've seen many iterations of what this card does in the past, or at least a couple. And not all those have basically had that exact same, text on them. Like, I think there was that one vampire or whatever from Ixalan years and years ago that was basically similar to this, but didn't have the whole requirement of like, hey, if you're playing Commander, you can use more than one of this card. Because if that didn't have this text in Commander, this would be absolute garbage. But because it has that text on it, well, here's the thing. Entire deck's going to be dedicated to this card. It's going to be like TempestHawk.com, basically, kind of deck. And it's going to be like, okay, what kind of commander works with this card versus what kind of commander do I want to utilize, and then what cards work well with it? No, it's going to be like, how can I use 40 Tempest Hawks? That's going to be the question, and why this card's going to be so expensive, even though it's literally just a 2/2 flyer for 3 that can go tutor you up more 2/2 flyers for 3. So yeah, essentially you're going to have commanders that are dedicated to this card because that's just how this works. It's a very exciting concept, just literally, even though it's all that does is literally, okay, like I've got a 2/2 flyer for 3 mana. That doesn't matter. What matters is literally you can have any number of them, and because of that, certain things work amazing with this. Like, oh gosh, whatever that one Ripple card is. I can't remember, like Thrumming Stone, whatever that thing is. I think it's that one. Thrumming Stone decks, yes. Just like flying decks in general, sure. Absolutely. Just like any kind of general deck where you're like, yeah, let's just get a flyer out and then come through and then double strike and then hit again and then double flyer. Yeah, those kind of extra combat decks. Absolutely. Extra combat trigger decks. Yeah, again, literally, when you have any number of decks out there, there's only so many cards out there that say a deck can have any number of cards. And in Commander, that's, of course, always a very interesting thing because it's a singleton format. And typically, again, there's only one way to break that, and that is this way, where you can have any number of a card. There's like 7, maybe less cards that do that. 8, I don't know. We've got a couple more lately, but like it's not very many at all. Relentless Rats, Persistent Petitioners, that other rat, Shadowboard Apostle, the Dragonstorm thing, the Slime thing, and probably this. So you're like 7 or 8 probably out there right now. But yeah, it's an interesting card. There's going to be decks around it. It's going to be expensive, even though it's a common that literally is a 2/2 flyer for 3 mana that tutors. Cool. Awesome. Have fun. Keep going. Next up, we've got Eshki Dragonclaw, and I'm sorry that this is, for some reason, very, very fuzzy, but that's just how it is. I'll read it as best I can. I'm sorry, but it's a fuzzy card, because some people don't know how to upload things properly, apparently, to the internet. Now I'm just offending probably someone who's a TikToker that's just doing some really cool things. Awesome. Good for you. They're quality images. Just get them up there, okay? Come on, please. All right, 4/4, Human Warrior for 4 mana in Teamer. Vigilance, Trample, Ward 1. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you cast a creature spell and a non-creature spell this turn, draw a card and put 2 counters on Eshki Dragonclaw. Yeah, very cool, very awesome. Now, we did see in the Morrow teaser, essentially, the beginning of combat on your turn, cast a creature and non-creature. We saw that part. We get the full part of this, and I'm very glad to see this on a legendary creature, because when it comes to these interesting concepts for things, yes, please put them on legendary creatures, because I like when we get to see essentially like a brand new type of commander deck that is around something that's very interesting and that you can build around. If this is one card, the 99, awesome, good for you. I'm not going to build an entire deck around that. But like literally with this being on a commander, of course, I can build an entire deck around having to cast creature and non-creature spells in the turn. That seems like a really cool concept. This is something that, again, okay, as much as I don't like Ward, it's like, okay, cool, throw the things on it, all right? Vigilance, Trample, Ward 1, great, good for you. 4/4, cool, all right. But obviously, you can make this hit really hard, really quickly, because on combat, if you cast that creature or non-creature, congratulations, draw the card, great, good card advantage throughout the game, and also 2 counters on it, which, of course, there's ways to take advantage of that. I mean, like, just throw Hardened Scales out there, or, of course, yeah, I mean, anyone in the comments below who just wants to yell, doubling season, doubling season, doubling season. Yeah, that too. Hey, yeah, doubling season is obviously great. Get more and more counters on this. It's going to hit harder and harder and harder. Vigilance, Trample, yes. I mean, swing freely, hit hard, hit your opponents. Probably double up your, power for certain ways. Double strike as well. You're in red. You can hit incredibly hard, incredibly quickly, and make this into a one-shot KO commander in no time, I am sure. On top of taking advantage of those, drawing as well. I've got Thought Reflection. I've got Teferi's Timeless or Ageless Insight, whatever the one is. You double up your draws as well. Great, have fun, cool. Vigilance, Trample, Ward 1, good. Take advantage of all those things. Swing hard, hit hard, have a lot of fun with this one. Yeah, and again, like a good balance of a deck. I like that a lot. Again, creature spells, non-creature spells, take advantage of both. I really like having a balance to a deck like this and being benefited for doing so. So yeah, kind of like split the deck in half. Literally, like, okay, not half exactly. You need lands too, obviously. But okay, I've got lands, and then I've got creatures, and I've got non-creatures. I've got a good balance of all the things, and I'm bound to just get a good amount of value off this commander throughout the game, hit hard, and have a lot of fun. I think it's being a very popular team or commander because of that balance, essentially. And also, players out there just really like drawing cards, number 1. Number 2, also love counters. Counters is one of the most popular strategies, so I think it's in the top 5 still. So yeah, enjoy this one. I think it's going to be a popular commander. Have fun. It's great. Ward is weird. Wizards, just keep throwing Ward on things for some reason. That's what you're going to do anyways. You're just going to, because Hexproof, no one likes Hexproof. It's mean, whatever. But yeah, you just keep tossing Ward on everything. Ward 1 means basically nothing to you, but yeah, sure, just keep tossing Ward on things. Okay, moving on. Magmatic Hellkite. I'm sorry that this one also is fuzzy. Again, TikTokers, learn how to upload things. Thank you. Dragon with flying for 4 mana in red. This creature enters destroy target non-basic land opponent controls. Its controller searches their life for a basic land card, puts on the battlefield, tap with a stun counter on it, then shuffles. Okay, is it just me, or is this the first time that we've really seen like a stun counter intentionally added to the lands? I mean, I'm sure we've seen it before, yes. But this is the first time I can really like think about it being like, okay, cool, all right. I take out an opponent's non-basic land, but because we're playing friendly commander, right? We're not playing, game bracket, tier bracket thing, whatever they call it these days. 4 or 5, even though CEDH, you're just 5. You're just 5. That CEDH is 5, okay? Like 4 is a weird bracket area, okay? It really is a weird bracket. It's like, all right, you're basically playing CEDH, but bad CEDH decks, maybe. Is that how that is? Okay. Regardless, if you're destroying lands, okay, you got to replace them in Commander, typically. That's just kind of how it works. Because that's just how Commander in general works, because you can't touch lands, okay? I don't know why. That's just how it works. All right, anyways. Enters battlefield, destroys a non-basic land. You replace it, but it is stunned. It is a slow land now. No matter what it is, it's going to play tap. It's got a stun counter on it. And again, you got to remove that stun counter on it to then untap it later. So it's like a delayed untap for that. So there is a cost for this. And again, with an ETB like this, technically, you're playing land destruction, but not land destruction because you're like replacing the land, but also not letting them utilize that land right away. So have fun, I guess. I don't know. This is something that you could just blink and just demolish an opponent that's playing too many non-basics. It's only non-basics. You're not destroying basics, okay? But you could just decimate someone's mana base with this and just say, well, you know what? You probably should play more basics. And they probably should because they're a heathen and they should probably play more basics. It's their fault, not yours, right? Yeah, other than that, though, this is a 4/5 dragon with flying for 4 mana. If you're an Dragon, this is Stone Rain. This is a Stone Rain for you. This literally costs the same. I think it's pretty costs the exact same amount of Stone Rain. Stone Rain, I think, is 1 red. This is a Stone Rain for you in Dragon. So have fun with that. Just demolish land bases. Why not? Okay, you're replacing the land. It's their fault they don't have that many basics, right? Not your own, even though you're stunning it. Yeah, and if you got Proliferate, have fun with that. They're never going to untap that land again. So it's a very interesting card. Again, like, again, bringing dragons into this, bringing ETBs in this. Again, not a cast trigger at all. It is Stone Rain on a dragon, but a slow land replacing it. Very, very interesting. Very, very cool. We're in a new era of land destruction, apparently. And, yeah, this is the way that we're going about it with stun counters, apparently. Okay, moving on. We've got Dragonback Assault. Finally, someone who knows how to upload an image that is not fuzzy. Okay, enchantment for a 6 mana in-teamer. When this enchantment enters, it deals 3 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. Landfall, whatever land you control enters, create a 4/4 red dragon creature with flying. Gross, disgusting, awesome, amazing. That's all the words that come to my mind right now. Okay, here we go. So, again, enters right away. It deals 3 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. It's taking out a good amount of things. All right, I mean, yeah, if you're playing against a Super Friends deck, cool. It's taking out planeswalkers, or at least taking them down quite a bit. But for the most part, it's like, okay, it takes out medium-sized to small creatures. For the most part, okay, cool. And if you're playing any kind of, you are in red, obviously, so if you have any kind of like damage doublers for your opponent's things, you're wiping out probably most of their board, which is quite awesome and quite amazing. That being said, yeah, if you have landfall, if you're playing any kind of a landfall deck in Teamer, you're like, oh, awesome. Yeah, you know that one dude that makes the beast that costs 6 mana in green that's like a 6/6 trampler? Cool. I'm making better than that, because I'm making 4/4 flyers. Yeah, for just a landfall trigger. So, yeah, this is kind of like a mini board wipe, essentially. And for decks that have decently sized creatures, yeah, you're going to survive that board wipe, mini board wipe. And also on top of that, you're going to make it a massive army of flying evasive dragons. Have fun with that. Your opponents are in big trouble. Yeah, this is a mythic for a reason. It's going to be quite expensive, I can see, because, yeah, landfall is also one of the most popular strategies out there. You're making a lot of a very, very popular creature token. Dragons are a very popular creature, very popular tribe, so have fun with that too. It's something that is just quite disgusting. Yeah, I mean, I guess also if you're in a blink strategy, you could also just keep blinking this, because it's an ETB that does not have a cast requirement. So like, you're like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, blink it again. Take out your tiny creatures. My creatures are fine because they're 4/4s, 3 damage, doesn't matter. I'm fine. Or if I have a damage double for my opponent's things, cool, great. It takes them out again and again and again and again. But yeah, most importantly, you play an Evolving Wilds, you crack, and you're like, oh, I've got 8 power across, 2 bodies with flying. Great, good for me. Disgusting, amazing. Doubling season, have fun with that as well. Doubling up your creatures. It's absolutely gross and amazing. And 6 mana enchantment, you're paying good amount for enchantment out there, but it's doing a lot of work for you. Absolutely. Literally, like you play this enchantment, you're like, okay, I wipe up some creatures, playing Evolving Wilds, and I've made up all the value I need to make up for it, and I'm just going to keep going. Okay, cool, good for me. Hey, finally, apologies for the weird crop on this one, but again, some people don't know how to crop things, apparently. Okay, here we go. 4/3, Human Warrior, Surrak is back, Elusive Hunter. I'm wearing, like elk horns? Just on, I don't know, like my shoulder pads? I don't know what's going on here. For 3 mana in green, apparently I lost some colors. Used to be Teamer, now I'm just green. This spell can't be countered. Trample. Whenever a creature you control or a creature spell you control becomes the target of a spell or ability opponent controls, draw a card. Okay, very cool. So, first of all, not being able to be countered, that's nice to have on a commander. There's only so many commanders that actually have that. Second of all, yeah, I mean, this is basically just like, gosh, there's that one enchantment. I think it costs like a single green mana that basically does the exact same thing just for like creatures in play. But like basically, hey, you target my things, I'm drawing cards. That's just what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to do my own thing. I'm a mono green commander. I'm probably going to go stompy, go big. Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm just going to get a bunch of creatures out that are big, absolutely massive. I'm good friends with a Gigantosaurus for some reason. Okay, just how it works. Cool, I've got a lot of big friends, and you target them? Oh, okay, yeah, sure. You Swords of Plowshares, my giant creature? Cool, I get to draw because of that. Oh, you try to counter my creature again. Whenever a creature you control or a creature spell you control, specifically, or a creature spell you control. So, all of a sudden, if you target my spells, if I'm playing a full creature deck and you try to counter my spell, I get to replace it, which is fantastic and great. And you usually don't see that, obviously. Usually it's like, oh no, if you target my things, I get a benefit or a punishment for you. This is more so, oh, you target anything? Okay, cool. I get a benefit. Again, it's only an opponent controls. It's not like you can go like, okay, I'm going to like hyper target my own things like heroic kind of deck. No, it's not that. It's more so, I put a bunch of big stompy things out there and you try to target them to stop me and I get to replace them. Good for me. Awesome. And by the way, when you tried to target them and then I heroic intervention, it doesn't matter. So good. I get to keep my things in play anyways and draw those cards. Good for me. So yeah, you can do a lot of cool things with this one. Again, it can't be countered itself. 4/3 with trample. Cool. You could pump it. Obviously, you could actually, make this into like a 3-shot, 2-shot, maybe even a 1-shot KO with enough work, but more so it's probably going to be like a good card in the 99, obviously, of Stompy decks out there. And, of course, obviously a good card as a commander being like, okay, cool, yeah, I have a bunch of big creatures. I'm going to do a bunch of big things. Have fun with that. Yeah, it could be a pretty cool kind of commander design. Absolutely. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. Make sure you comment below with your thoughts on this one. And, of course, as always, thanks again, and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.